What up, family? It's Boy Dash when the early is 4:22 a.m. in my city, Chicago, Wednesday, December 17th, 2025. 50% on my phone, going all the way to 4:29 because that's Master P's birthday. That's my ex-girlfriend, Lawanada Joy Jacobs. She worked for Blue Cross Blue Shield. She was a Jehovah Witness. And, we were together for over 10 years. Now, long story short, her birthday is 4:29. So I'm going to stop the time at 4:29. So I'm going to talk my ish for a little bit. I work hard for everything earned, and even the stuff people have stolen from me, like my rap legacy. Now, MC Light got a song called I Cram to Understand You. When I met my ex-girlfriend, the one Joy Jacobs, in my city, Chicago, on the 87th Red Line platform, train station platform, I was selling cassette tapes. And she just came hanging around, just walked up to me, one by, and then just looking cute and hanging around. I was by myself, as far as, staying by myself and just minding my business, right? Real talk. Won't bother nobody, just trying to pay bills and stuff. She kept coming back for about 6 months. So I was like, I gave her cassette tapes, the 5 Heartbeat soundtrack. The movie, The 5 Heartbeat, I gave her the soundtrack because I was selling music at the time, cassette tapes. So I thought she wanted something. So I just gave her, the soundtrack to my life, for real talk. I got nothing but love for you, baby. Got nothing but love for you, baby. So we end up befriending each other, and, you know, being in a relationship or a situationship. Now, at the time, I really wasn't looking for nobody. But she popped up. And like I said, we've been befriended each other from 93 all the way up into 2008 when I got railroaded. May 31st, 2008, on my way to a gospel fest after I had, gave my book, Rhyme, Poems, and Metaphors Plus One Song, away to the internet, to her, to everybody in Chicago. Everybody got my book, right? I ain't got it. I want it back. Along with my voice to 5 CDs, you understand what I'm saying, to the Sound of Music and stuff, you understand? So, I wanted people to know who they was dealing with. And at the time, I really didn't, even in 2008, I didn't realize, I was the originator of rap because I was working so hard trying to, appease her, trying to keep her, whatever and stuff. I wasn't even thinking about, who I am. So when I say MC Light came out with the song I Cram to Understand You, I believe that's what happened with my ex-girlfriend, Lawanada Joy Jacobs, and that's why she stalked me for 6 months. She crammed to understand me. Somebody sent her. 9 times out of 10, it was the police, because after I had gave my book to the public and to her, along with them five CDs, with my voice added to the Sound of Music, one day I was driving a truck that, she and I kind of purchased together. I know it was my money. You understand what I'm saying? Because, it was designed for me, kind of, sort of, I put it together and it was kind of masculine or whatever and stuff, even though I'm a girl. You understand? I was wondering why she would wanted it so, so masculine. You understand what I'm saying? So, long story short, I was driving the truck, right? And I looked in my rear view mirror and I saw her. I saw the detectives behind me. And this is after I gave her my book, Rhymes, Poems, and Metaphors Plus One Song, and before I got railroaded May 31st, 2008, for so-called tinted windows and disarming a police officer on Devon Clark in Rogers Park, the same area where I had, used my influence and my face card to build up their, neighborhood. I saw the police behind me, detectives, a white man, right? And I also saw Lawanda, my ex-girlfriend, wave him off. like, it was okay. She didn't do it fast or whatever. She just did it real subtle like and stuff. I saw her out the peripheral, but I never told her. You understand what I'm saying? For real, for real. And that's how I knew she was an informant or, working for the police or whatever the case may be. And she knew more about me than I knew about, myself and about her. For real. So basically, it's a takeover. And that's why when I went to Atlanta in 2010, because she had went to Atlanta one time and I told her to bring me an Atlanta sweatshirt back or whatever and stuff. Now all this I didn't realize was going to be important later on, but she brought the sweatshirt back or whatever. And when I went to Atlanta when I was homeless in 2010 after getting railroaded, you understand what I'm saying, and was on a parole violation, quote unquote, for something I didn't do, I called her and said, they poisoned me. And she laughed. She laughed like the Dave Chappelle laughed when Dave Chappelle said his friend laughed at him, but he knew he wasn't his friend. Yeah, that laugh. All I want to know is 428. What's so funny now? Miss Jacobs, insurance, Blue Cross Blue Shield worker, Jehovah's Witness. And no, we was not talking about no Bible all that time we was together. Only towards the end of our relationship. You understand what I'm saying? She was happy when I went to jail. The only time I saw her smile was when I was going down. So this one is for you. This is the 13. Jesus had 12 disciples. One of them had to be a girl. She denied me 3 times like Peter. This is 11. I'm number 1 twice for a reason. That's Mario's birthday and Whoopi Goldberg's birthday from The Color Purple. This is the 7. If I was gambling, I promise you, y'all wouldn't be making it. That's the 7. You know what I mean? And this the 9. Police. I ain't got a lot to kick it. Real talk. She was an informant. Step your game up. 429. Peace.